for another amendment.
Mr. Chairman, I move to accept Amendment AM 136 2592-2.
Thank you. 2592-2 is in order, and members, it should be on your iPads there. Vice Chairman, would you like to explain this amendment?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The amendment will phase in the amusement ride inspection fees under the bill, with the exception of fees for the inspection of tower rides and larger roller coaster. Phases in the changes, both increases and decreases, that the bill makes to amusement ride fees as follows. First, half of the fees increase or decrease amount takes effect on the bill's effective date and ends on November 30th, 2027, and the full fee increase or decrease amount takes effect December 1st, 2027. Phases in the bill's increase to the annual inspection for tower rides as follows: $1,300 beginning on the bill's effective date and ending on November 30th, 2027, and $1,800 beginning on December 1st, 2027. And it phases in the bill's increase to the annual inspection ride for larger roller coasters as follows: $3,250 beginning on the bill's effective date and ending on November 30th, 2027, and $4,000 beginning on December 1st, 2027.
Okay, thank you very much. Any objections to the motion? The amendment will become part of the bill with no objections. Thank you, members, and thank you, Vice Chairman. With that concluded, we'll ask also LSC to harmonize the language of the bill with the accepted amendments. So we will now move on to testimony on this amended substitute House Bill 433. And up first, we have Tammy Chapman, A&S Party Rental, as a proponent. And welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. Chairman Schaefer, Vice Chair Kaler, Ranking Member Hicks Hudson, and members of the Senate Agricultural Natural Resource Committee, thank you for your time today and allowing me to submit testimony in support of House Bill 433. My name is Tammy Chapman, and I am the owner of A&S Party Rental in Franklin, Ohio. For more than 24 years, my company has provided safe family entertainment throughout Ohio and working closely with the Ohio Department of Agriculture to ensure that my attractions were inspected and operate safely. I respectfully ask each and every one of you for your support of House Bill 433. The strongest reason why I ask for your support of this legislation is that it is based on the findings by the Ohio Department of Agriculture's own inspection time study. This independent time study spent significant time evaluating the actual resources required to inspect different amusement rides and attractions throughout the state of Ohio. The department study confirmed that not all rides required the same amount of inspection time or inspection resources. Some attractions can be inspected in a relatively short period of time, while larger and more complex rides require substantially more inspector time and more resources. For example, a small bounce house, which is what the bill primarily addresses, takes 20 to 25 minutes to inspect, and the cost to inspect that ride is $329. A more complex and detailed ride, like a roller coaster, will take 2 to 3 inspectors, 3 to 5 days, and that inspection fee is $1,425. I am hoping this resonates with you because for my company, we have 115 rides inspected in that 3 to 5 days, 3 to 4, but 3 to 5 days. My company inspects 115 bounce houses. My bill for those bounces is $37,835. To inspect a roller coaster is $1,425 for the same resources and time spent. So $37,000 compared to $1,425. I want to make this extremely clear. This bill does not reduce safety standards and eliminate any inspections or weaken any oversight in any way. As a matter of fact, in the state of Ohio, it is estimated that 100 to 150 bounce house companies go unlicensed every year. Now, I will challenge you this. If you say the word bounce house to your phone and you get on Facebook tonight, you'll start seeing all the unlicensed companies come up. They say they can't license them because the fees are too high. So I'm going to tell you, I think that our safety will improve with the inspection fees being more affordable for people. My second reason for asking for you to support House Bill 433 is that the department's findings have already received significant support throughout the legislative process. House Bill 433 passed the Ohio House of Representatives by a strong bipartisan margin, 87-4. I think that demonstrates the broad recognition that the current fee structure should be modernized and updated. Another reason why I think this deserves your support is the Ohio Amusement Ride Safety Council supported this recommendation to move toward a fee structure based on actual time spent, and it was a unanimous vote to forward this bill. The advisory council is made up of individuals with firsthand knowledge of ride safety and inspection, and they recognize that the fairness of this bill and the approach. I have worked for more than 8 years on this bill myself. I genuinely believe the current fee structure is unfair to many small businesses. Over those 8 years, I've attended many meetings. I've actually even given testimony before. I've talked to many people trying to come up with a common ground and a fairness approach. To me, it's really not about somebody winning or losing. It's about paying your fair share. If you need more, if you utilize more resources, then I think you should pay for those more resources. As a small business owner, as a taxpayer, as an Ohio employer, I am simply asking for a system that is fair to everyone. A system where businesses pay inspection resources that they use, where no company is forced to subsidize another company. This is a pay for play. If I use the resources, I pay for them. I don't know a more modern approach than that. I want to be completely clear. I own 10 amusement rides myself. 10 amusement rides. My fees will go up. As a small business owner, if I use more resources, I think that those fees should go up. I rent a bounce house out for $199. Those large attractions rent out for $2,000 to $25,000 a day. There is a difference. There truly is. I know my opponents will come up and say that they believe the fee should go up, but they don't think it should be that much. What's more fair than you pay for what you use? In conclusion, my final statement to you is this. I grew up in Portsmouth, Ohio. I went to the University of Cincinnati. I studied really hard. I graduated with honors. And the vision of a dream to own a small business in the state of Ohio. Because of legislators like you who support small businesses and fight for fair rules for small businesses, my dream came true. I thank you for your support in the past, and I ask for your support again today in passing House Bill 433. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Chapman. Any questions for the witness? Seeing none, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next up, Kevin Wieging, Inflatable Operator Association, is a proponent. And did I pronounce your name correctly?
Very good. Very good. You did. You did.
And members, I'll point out that his testimony, if you don't see it on your laptops, hit your refresh round squiggly button at the top, and it should show up. So please proceed when you're ready.
Thank you. Chairman Schaefer, Vice Chair Kohler, Ranking Members Hicks Hudson, and members of the Senate Agriculture and Natural Resource Committee. I appreciate the opportunity to provide testimony in support of House Bill 433 because it's an important issue. And I did not know I was going to follow Tammy with such great examples. And also a few years ago, and I want to mention this, if you see something, say something was always a negative thing. I use that as a positive here. If you see something, say something on people doing a good job. And I'd like to thank Travis Brock from your office, Senator Schaefer, for really kind of last night conversations and, just making things happen. Hustle. hustle. And I told you that, so thank you. So, but anyways,
I know,
I've been involved with this.
I left the office about 8 o'clock, and he was still working. So.
Well, I submitted about 11:30 p.m. So.
Oh, my.
So anyways, I have been involved with the issue since the early 90s. I established a rental company, and we are not simply talking about a bounce house rentals for birthday parties, but how inflatable amusement businesses are different than traditional carnival businesses. Why they need 24 different bounce houses and how they conduct business with clients in a different way than a traditional carnival ride company. A traditional carnival company wouldn't typically have 24 different carousels or 24 different Ferris wheels or giant swings. Usually one or two of them items is sufficient because of the cost to purchase those and the number of shows that they operate within a weekend's time. It has a big impact on success and the growth of these small businesses. And understanding how House Bill 433 is an issue of finally restructuring amusement inspections to be in line with the actual cost it requires to complete the process without being excessive is the important issue. Just 2 years ago, I might add, North Carolina eliminated their inspections on inflatables because of some of these similar issues and the number of units that small businesses had, and the cost of compliance was rising. Again, my name is Kevin. Just to kind of go over some of my involvement in the industry, I've been involved with the inflatable industry in a number of roles, generally viewing issues from a business owner's perspective since establishing my company in 1990. Since then, I've experienced different roles, which include involvement with the owner-operator task group chair, with the ASTM safety standards and revising those standards in 2014. Serving on the Ohio Amusement Ride Safety Advisory Council through Senate appointment by past Senate President Huffman, serving on the board of Inflatable Operators Association, and currently, since selling my company, current executive director for IOA. So I currently manage risk management and safety programs based on the ASTM F2374 and present annually for the Pennsylvania Ride Safety Programs. Aim safety training and maintain a current NARSO Level 1 amusement ride inspection certification as well. So I thought it was important that I understand, what I'm doing and getting the credentials to support my positions. I respect and ask for your support for House Bill 433. How do traditional carnival companies or amusement parks differ from inflatable amusements? Why doesn't a carnival company midway need 24 carousel rides? The inflatable industry businesses will generally afford multiple theme units because of cost, and they need them for different children's ages, different children's themes, for boys and girls' birthday parties. And the rental process is choosing a theme is generally a big decision for parents to plan that perfect birthday party in the backyard. What is trending? Superheroes, unicorns, baseball, football, or basketball themes, not just one carousel, but multiple themes for a bounce house. And the setup is generally managed through a delivery setup, training of parents for operations, and then returning to pick up that equipment following the rental. They need those 24 units so there's ability to choose, and they meet the demands of their clients in their business. In comparison to a traditional carnival ride that's set up that could generally be provided for these type of events are much more complex, costing several $1,000s more, and they're complex with pneumatic, hydraulic, or substantial power requirements. It would be awesome to have a Ferris wheel for a backyard birthday party, but it generally doesn't happen. And in a carnival company, it's purchasing one of those units for $80,000 to $250,000, but an inflatable rental company needs 24 bounce houses because of the fulfilling the demand on the different themes. An investment per unit that's typically $3,500 to $7,500 per unit. The inspection process, the Ohio Department of Agriculture, Department of Amusement Ride Safety Council is comprised of 15 industry professionals in order to assess the time and resources needed for the inspections of different types of amusements. The department created a subcommittee for review of the inspection process. Generally, time required to complete the process and the current fee structure. This was an important fact-based study, and where the department found more time was needed with larger, more complex rides, and adjustment occurred and were proposed. This is where my comparison comes back for reference. Companies owning 24 bounce houses were paying, on the average of $7,896 for the process that was completed, within an 8-hour workday, and that was budgeting 20 minutes per inspection of each individual rides. I will defer back to the comparison that Tammy Chapman provided that really was an eye-opening, probably more so than my example. In comparison, a Ferris wheel was paying $385 for a process taking a much longer time period for a single ride, involving mechanical inspection, structural inspection, and witnessing the ride's cycles for operation, a process budgeting 4 to 5 hours to complete that process. So there's a disproportionate amount paid for the same amount of time. House Bill 433 creates a system that better aligns inspection fees with actual inspection resources used. It allows us a simple and fair pay-for-use principle. Businesses pay based on the inspection resources they consume of the department. I'd like to point out that many state-exempt inflatable amusements from annual inspection include Michigan and Indiana, to our neighbors, where they simply just don't require the inspection of these inflatables units anymore. The Kentucky program provides inspection of inflatable amusements at a cost of $50 per unit. Familiar with Pennsylvania program, annual cost of compliance is much less, and they provide a self-inspection of amusements with audit authority maintained by the PA Ride Safety Program. That's a program that costs around $399 per every 2 years for the inspection or the education to do that. I think the most important thing studying the Ohio programs is this bill does not reduce Ohio's safety standards. It eliminates inspections or weaken the oversight in any way. Every ride will continue to be inspected and held to the same safety standards that protect Ohio families. Safety remains the highest priority for everyone. Again, I am asking your support for House Bill 433 as it aligns a fee structure that was developed with the Ohio Department of Agriculture support. House Bill 433 was introduced by Representative Roy Kloppenstein and Representative Sarah Fowler Arthur in the House. I remind everyone regarding the negotiations that took place from when originally introduced, the proposed fee was $25 per inflatable unit. Inflatable amusement owners were willing to pay more in support of a fair assessment of fees. I commend the leadership of Director Baldridge in requesting time from that point to thoroughly review the fee structure. I commend inflatable amusement owners for wanting to maintain the oversight of the state safety program at a reasonable cost. The legislation has been carefully studied, thoroughly discussed, approved by the Ohio House, supported by the Department of Agriculture's research, and advanced with the support of the Ohio Amusement Ride Safety Advisory Council. Through debate in the House, it successfully passed 87-4 in favor of the revisions supported by the Ohio Department of Agriculture. Thank you for your time, your service to Ohio, and your consideration for this important legislation. If there are any questions, I would be happy to take any and answer them to the best of my ability.
Thank you for your testimony. We appreciate that. Any questions from the committee? Senator Hicks-Hudson? No? Okay. Good. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for working with the Department of Ag on the fee structure. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Senator. So, best explanation I guess I could give, no questions. I'm honored.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll call up Drew Kissel from Kissel Amusement. Welcome to committee, sir.
Good morning, Chairman Schaefer, Vice Chair Kaler, Ranking Member Hicks-Hudson, and members of the Senate Agricultural and Natural Resource Committee. My name is Drew Kissel. I serve as a director on the Stark County Fair Board and as the second vice president of the Greater Ohio Showmen's Association. I'm also employed with Kissel Amusement. I'm here to speak about Ohio House Bill 433 and the concern many of us in the fair and amusement industry have regarding the increased inspection fees that could severely impact small amusement companies, fairs, and festivals throughout Ohio. Many people do not realize that ride companies do far more than simply provide rides at fairs and festivals. These companies often enter into profit-sharing agreements with local fairs, festivals, and nonprofit organizations. In addition, They help sponsor entertainment, attractions, and community events that bring people through the gates and help organizations remain financially successful. While inflatable companies certainly have their place in the industry, their business model is very different from that of traditional ride companies. Ride operators carry significantly higher transportation, labor, insurance, and equipment costs while also contributing financially to the events they serve. If these increased fees are implemented, many smaller amusement companies may be forced to reduce the percentage they return to nonprofit organizations and fair boards through profit-sharing agreements. It could also limit their ability to sponsor entertainment and community attractions that families have come to expect at local events. Ultimately, the financial burden created by House Bill 433 may not only hurt small ride operators, but also the nonprofit organizations, county fairs, and festivals, and local communities that depend on these partnerships to keep their events affordable and successful throughout Ohio. I appreciate your consideration of this perspective, and I'm happy to answer any questions the committee may have.
Thank you for your testimony, sir. Any questions from the committee? Yes, Senator Hicks Hudson.
Thank you, Vice Chair. In view of the amendments that were just added to the bill, is that still your position? Because I think the amendments kind of right-sized some of the cost. Thank you.
Thank you. Chairman Schaefer and to the Senate, it is helpful to phase it in for business budgeting, and it still amounts to an increase to the business.
Follow up? No. Thank you very much for your testimony, sir. We appreciate
Thank you, guys.
it. And all you do. Thank you. We're going to stand at ease for a moment and wait for our other legislators to come back from many other committees that are happening this morning at their unscheduled time normally. So thank you. We're at ease.
We'll come back to order. Is there anyone else here who would like to testify before the committee on Substitute House Bill 433? Yes, sir.
I apologize, I do not have a prepared speech, so
That's
forgive
okay.
my...
Please identify yourself, and also we should have a witness slip here somewhere. Just fill one of those out before we leave, if you would, please.
Absolutely. My name is Nat Floyd. I'm owner of Bounce Up, Ohio. During the last one of the proponent hearings, I testified along with my son. We are a small bounce house company, father-son duo that we started about 8 years ago. And I started the business to teach my son that anyone can start a small business. I worked in corporate world for over 25 years, and I thought, hey, it's time to get out and teach, the next generation that life can go on. When we first started, we started off with 3 inflatables. Very first year, I'm not afraid to admit this, we made $14,000. My inspections took up 10% of that money. That was not paying myself, that was not paying my son, that was not paying for the bounce houses. We basically broke even. As we've grown over the years, inspection fees have stayed the same, and thankfully we haven't grown our business. We're up to 30 inflatables now, but our inspection fees this year are almost $10,000. That represents almost 8% of what I will do this year. I do understand that the increase in fees for other businesses is tough to swallow, but at the same time, they are more complex. Think about inspecting a roller coaster, how much time that takes, every bolt, every nut. But a bounce house, you put the blower on, blow it up, check the tethers, make sure there's no holes or rips. And you've heard testimony over and over again that it only takes 20 to 30 minutes for a bounce house. Think about this. If you did work one day for 2 hours and they paid you for 6, would you feel good about your day? Would you feel honest about your day? But if you did 6 hours worth of work and someone only paid you for 2, would you feel that is fair and just? No, that's all we are asking is for fair and just. As Tammy alluded earlier, she did say that, hey, we are just, fair pay for a fair day's work. That's exactly all we're asking. If it takes our resources X amount of hours to inspect a roller coaster, let's pay for those X amount of hours. Same for bounce houses. And I'll make it very, very clear, in my corporate career, I worked in safety. This has zero to do about safety. I am thoroughly invested in this. I've seen some horrific times and horrific accidents in my lifetime, as I'm sure all of you have had, and I do not want to see safety decrease. I do get tired of chasing down the legal operators and sending them on to DOA. My wife scans Facebook Marketplace, and then we will pepper them with, are you state inspected and insured? We have caught many of them. I actually bought out a company that had 9 inflatables because they were not state inspected. I made them an offer and they said yes when I threatened to turn them in. We're trying to do our best to continue with safety, but with the high fees, it is very difficult. Thank you for your time. Any questions?
Any questions for a witness?
Thank
Seeing
you.
none, thank you so much. Anyone else who would like to provide testimony? Yes, sir. And also, please identify yourself and fill out a witness slip before you leave, please.
Will do. My name is Steve Kaumeyer. I work for a company called Super Games, event rental company here in Worthington, Ohio. Pardon me, I wasn't super prepared. I didn't know I'd get the chance to speak today. I'll keep it short and sweet. I am in support of House Bill 433 for all the reasons that have been listed over the last half hour here. Last time I got to talk, I submitted kind of my journey through this and how long we've been at it, and kind of how well the new regime has at Ride Safety taken over and hearing our plight. I just wanted to step up and say I support the bill, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Hold on a second, sir. Any questions for the witness?
Sorry, I did that last time too.
That's okay. Well, doesn't look like any questions, so
Again,
thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
You bet. And we have witness slips being passed out by staff now, so I know 2 gentlemen has spoke. Could fill those out, please. Anyone else like to give testimony to this bill? Okay, seeing none. With that concluded, what is the pleasure of the committee? The chair recognizes Vice Chairman Kaler for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that we favorably report substitute House Bill 433 to the Committee on Rules and References.
Okay, thank you very much. And if no discussion, will the clerk please call a roll on the motion?
Chair Schaefer,
Yes.
Vice Chair Kaler,
Yes.
Ranking Member Hicks Hudson, Senator Landis, Senator Liston,
Yes.
Senator Reynolds, Senator Wilkin. All right, 5-0.
And the motion passes with 5 affirmative votes, and we will hold the roll open until 10:30? Okay, good. We'll hold the roll open until 10:30. For those who are checked in and not able to be here at the moment. That concludes today's hearing on House Bill 433.